Hello everyone, my name is Mango, aka Aegiblast, and as some of you might know, the recent Smogon Tier changes have been released about 2 days ago for the 3rd of May of 2015, and in my opinion, this might be the biggest tier change in 6th gen as of now, in my opinion, because so many Pokemon have been moved in between tiers, and in my opinion, this really ignore my cat there. This really changes up the meta quite a lot because as of late I've been tired of seeing the same shit in the same tiers over and over again, and I think that this recent tier change does help out a lot by keeping the metagame not stale, as because Aura's competitive has been a bit stale in my opinion because you keep seeing the same thing over and over again. But I feel like this um this this tier change update really, well, I don't know, purged that feeling of stale. And today I'm going to show my opinions on these these tier changes because I find these tier changes really interesting, to be honest. And one of which is Tornado's Therian moving from BL to OU. Now, just being straight up honest here, I haven't used Tornado's Therian once in my life, but I've seen it do a lot of work with the Assault Vest, and with its ability regenerator, it can become a big annoyance to take down, and it has really good move pool as well, and it just hits hard all around. And Assault Vest Tornadus Therian is a bitch to deal with. Heck, an assault vest Pokemon with Regenerator is a big annoyance to deal with, and uh, and it does make sense that Tornadus Therian does move up from BL to OU, and I think that it'll soon fit in if you give it a couple weeks or so. Next up, we have Scrafty, who has moved from UU to RU. Now, the reason I've been expecting this as of late. Ignore my mouse going crazy. I'm adjusting it. I've been also expecting Scrafty moving as well because we have Pangoro, and its usage in the UU has dramatically decreased when Oris came. It's really dramatically decreased, and so it does make sense. Next up, we have Gallade, who has moved from OU to UU. Now, this one I didn't quite get because Gallade is a Pokemon that has a lot of sweeping capability. The reason why is because it has access to Swords Dance and Priority Shadow Sneak, and and it hits hard for what it's worth. But I do understand some reasoning that it it gets shut down by Talonflame, a lot of physical walls. It also gets freaking. It also gets hard countered by Gardevoir actually, and not hard countered as, but just a soft check. It it kind of sucks against Skarmory, but I I honestly think that Gallade should be, in my opinion, does could do a bit of work in OU, but as of now it's in UU, and that's where it seems to belong as of now. And as of I'm recording right now, Mega Gallade has been moved to BL, which I can understand. That thing is a real beast. Next up, we have Kingdra, who has moved from UU to RU. Now, this is also a Pokemon I've been expecting to drop as well because it gets outshined by Mega, by not Mega, by a lot of dragons, mainly Salamence and Hydreigon. The reason why is because number one, Kingdra has really mediocre stats. Like, it has really mediocre stats. 95 offensively, and its speed isn't even that good when you're talking UU speeds. And I can I understand why it's been dropped down to RU. It's RU is a bit slow. It's a bit of a slow tier, and um, I believe that Kingdra can put in a lot of work in RU since it it's probably one of the fastest ones. One of the well, might be higher in the speed tier, but we'll see. Next up, we have Mandibuzz, who has moved from OU to UU. Not gonna understand this because of usage, and in my opinion, Mandibuzz will be a a real annoyance to deal with, just like in OU, because it has really good defenses for a flying type, and with access to defog, foul play, and taunt, this thing is an awesome physical wall, on physical and special wall, and I expect it to do the same in UU. Next up, we have Flygon, who has moved from UU to RU. Thank God. Thank fucking God. I hated seeing this thing in in RU. The reason why is because why would you use a Flygon when you already have Salamence and Hydreigon? And to an extent Kingdra, but you get what I mean. Don't use Flygon in UU. It's not worth using in UU in my opinion. Next up we have Alakazam, who has moved from UU to OU. Now, I I agree with this with its rise, because it is a really scary offensive mon. It because with this Sash Alakazam is a really popular set, and with access to such a wide special move pool, this thing, two it KOs most of the OU tier, and that is mind blowing. The fact that Alakazam has so much firepower and such a wide move pool makes it such a big threat in this current meta, and that's awesome. Next we have Haunter, who has moved from PU to NU, which I don't find as groundbreaking, but I do understand why it's been moved from PU to NU. It's basically Gengar. It has access to Trick. It has access to Trick. Decent it has decent special attack for pre-evolution, and it actually hits pretty hard for what it's worth. Next up we have Heliolisk, who has moved from RU to UU. Now I'm pretty excited to use Heliolisk in UUs because it has really good speed, has really good special attack, and has really good type. It has really unique typing as well. Electric normal, despite the fact that it sucks defensively and it leaves open to an array of weaknesses. It's, in my opinion, it's a really awesome offensive Pokemon. Next up we have Dragalge, who has moved from BL2 to UU. Now Dragalge is a force to be reckoned with. The adaptability, specs, Draco, Oko, so many things. UU is getting its ass beat right now, because it's becoming a mix of stall and hyper offense, to which I'm going to explain later. But for now, we're just going to move on to Mamoswine, who has also been moved from OU to UU. Now, I don't quite understand his downgrade from OU to UU, because I believe that Mamoswine, even though it has really, in my opinion, meh speed for OU, I feel like it does very well in OU, and I don't think that Mamoswine will last that long in UU. Maybe he's gonna drop due to usage, but we'll see about that. I believe he's gonna drop to RU because of usage, because Mamoswine isn't that popular in OU as of late, but I think it's gonna drop. That's my opinion. Next up we have Hippowdon, who has moved from UU to OU. Now this one I can really understand why. It's because it has access to Sandstorm, has really good defenses as well. Spadef Hippo is a beast, and it has access to rocks. It hits hard even defensively. It's an amazing mod. Next up we have Fletchinder, who has moved from RU to NU. Now Fletchinder is a Pokemon that I deem somewhat of a one-trick pony, because it mainly relies on Swords Dance acrobatics to sweep, and if you don't succeed, then you might as well say goodbye to that thing, honestly. I think it's a one-trick pony, and I do understand why it's moved from RU to NU. It doesn't really have enough firepower, despite the fact that it has access to Swords Dance. so many things take hits from it pretty well. And that's my cat. Can you stop fucking fucking interrupting me, please? Sorry about that. Next up, we have Siglif, who has moved from BL3 to RU. I'm just gonna ignore that because I don't find Siglif that that good of a mon, even though I used it in one of my Showdown lives, but I don't find it, well, as important, so I'm just gonna ignore that. Slurpuff has been moved from RU to UU, and mainly because of the belly drum set, I can understand that. Camera up from NU to RU, I can understand that, of course, because of its Mega Evolution, and Sheer Force, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, Earth Power hits like a truck, so it's definitely understandable. Magneton moved from RU to NU. This I can also understand as well. It doesn't get used that much in RU. When do you see a Magneton in RU? Exactly, nothing. But next up, we have Abomasnow, who has been moved from RU to UU. Now, this was a change that I did not expect because I didn't think that Abomasnow would be that big of a pop would be that popular of a Pokemon due to its 4 times weakness to fire. But after seeing so many people starting to use it in higher tiers as well, I'm starting to see more of its offensive capability, and I'm starting to see Abomasnow in a bit of a different light. And I'm quite excited that it's in UU, and I'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Next up is a tier change that I really like. It's Doublade, who has been moved from RU to UU. Now, I can fully understand this. It has good defenses, a lot of sweeping capability, and it takes hits pretty well. And it deals with Cresselia wonderfully. Cresselia can't do anything to Doublade. Doublade is a hard counter to Cresselia. And with Doublade being in the same tier as Cresselia, which I'm going to explain in a moment's time, this will be able this tier change will be able to balance things out and making sure that the tier still keeps in balance. That's what I really like about Doublade's rise from RU to UU. And speaking of Cresselia has been also moved from RU to UU as well. And I'm just glad that it's out of RU because it has such great bulk. It takes banded Mega Horns like it's nothing. From a Heracross even. It takes hits for days. It gets access to Moonblast. It has access to Calm Mind, Substitute, Lunar Dance, Moonlight. It gets access to such a move pool that serves its own purpose, and that purpose is to not die. This thing doesn't die. This thing will never die. If you play properly around with Cresselia, this thing will be one of the biggest annoyances that you have to deal with. That's why so many people call it Moonduck Cunt. It's such a cunty Pokemon, you just want to destroy it. And I'm just glad it's out of RU. Honestly. And with that being said, another Pokemon that I really using is Slowking, who has been also moved from RU to UU, mainly because of the Assault Vest set, in my opinion. Next is Noivern, who has been moved from UU to RU. I think it's mainly due to usage, and it also has been outshined by a couple other mons, which I can fully understand. Next is Taurus, who has been moved from BL4 to NU, and I think this Pokemon is in PU if I'm not mistaken, but I can kind of see why it's in NU. With Scarf, this thing does a lot of work in NU actually, with access to Rock Climb, Earthquake. I think it gets Stone Edge or Wild Charge, but you get what I mean. It hits hard for what it's worth. Next is Kabutops, who's been moved from RU to NU, which I am quite looking forward to using because Kabutops I like using because of one set. Weakness Policy plus Endure. It's a one-trick pony, but I like it. Next up, we have Seismitoad, aka God Toad, who has been moved from NU to RU. I'll definitely miss this thing being in NU because Seismitoad has been a very reliable wall. As it takes it takes grass hits very decently with such an amazing HP stat and really good stats defensively and especially defensively. It takes hits that you wouldn't expect. A Giga Drain from a Life of Roselia, I think it 2-hit KOs, which is pretty amazing because it's a that's a times 4 weakness. You gotta give it props. Next up, we have Prinplup has been moved from PU to NU. I can understand why. I've used Prinplup quite a lot when PU was around. I couldn't find a reliable defogger in PU aside from Mantine, but I did like the 4 times electric weakness, so I decided to cut corners and use Prinplup, and it takes hits pretty well for what it's worth with the Eviolite, and it has access to defog and rocks as well, which is a really good combo. Next up, we have Whimsicott, who has been moved from RU to UU. Now I'm not a big fan of Whimsicott. Reason why is because it gets Prankster, it gets Prankster, it gets Leech Seed, it gets Substitute, it gets so many moves. It's basically mini Cresselia in a way. It just doesn't die because of Subseed. Subseed is what makes this Pokemon really annoying, and I hope to God that I don't run into Whimsicotts in UU, but we'll see about that. And finally, how the mighty have fallen, Pinsir, who has been moved from RU to NU. Pinsir has been a really interesting mon, and that's because I didn't expect him to drop from OU to NU in such a small time frame. It's like it happened in just a flash. Once one one from one time you see him like being used as Mega Pinsir in OU all the time, and once Oras came around, it just suddenly dropped like in a flick of a switch. It just dropped all the way to NU, and I find that kind of sad because Pinsir is a really cool offensive mon that, in my opinion, should be used more. Scarf Moxie is amazing. Swords Dance Life Orb is amazing. I honestly don't understand why more people use Pinsir. It's such an amazing mon. But I do hope that Pinsir gets more usage in NU since it is now its home tier. And I honestly hope that Pinsir becomes the shining star of the tier once you give it a few more weeks. And that has been my thoughts on the recent tier changes for the month of May 2015. If you like this video, if you like this kind of video and you would like to see more, because I quite enjoyed doing this, expressing my opinions about the competitive meta, and if you like to see more, please comment or leave a like. It helps out a lot. It shows me it basically indicates that you like this kind of content, and your feedback is really important. So, question of the day: do you want to see more of these types of videos? Please inform me in the comments below. It will really help out a lot. And with that being said, my name is Mango, aka Aegiblast, and I'll be seeing you all the next time. See you all then. Peace.